Friends, I need to share something urgent with you about multiple winter storms heading toward the eastern United States right now. And I'm not talking about your typical December weather. I'm talking about a dangerous pattern that could dump feet of snow and deadly ice across millions of homes over the next several days. At the 3-minute 45-second mark, I'm going to show you exactly when this storm hits your neighborhood and what to expect hour by hour. By minute 6, you'll know which communities face the most dangerous conditions, and I'll explain exactly why these areas are so vulnerable. And by minute 15, I'll give you the complete family survival plan that could keep your loved ones safe and warm. I promise you this information could literally save your family's safety and comfort. Here's a number that should get your attention: 12 inches. That's how much heavy, wet snow New York City could see starting tomorrow. Now, you might be thinking 12 inches doesn't sound that extreme, but let me tell you something about wet snow that most people don't understand. Wet snow weighs about 3 times more than fluffy snow, which means 12 inches of wet snow can collapse roofs and snap power lines. When you add quarter-inch ice accumulation on top of that wet snow, you're looking at conditions that can bring down entire electrical grids. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of families across Pennsylvania, New York, and Michigan potentially losing power during the coldest part of winter. And here's what really concerns me. When you lose power during an ice storm, everything in your daily life stops working. No heat, no lights, no way to cook food, no way to charge your phone, no way to know when help is coming. Stay with me, because what's developing isn't just one storm. This is a complete pattern shift that's going to affect your life. A fundamental change in how our atmosphere is behaving that will control winter weather across most of America for weeks. The National Weather Service has already posted winter storm warnings across Pennsylvania and New York, and that's just the beginning. Over the next 24 hours, those warnings are going to expand across New Jersey, Maryland, Connecticut, and throughout your entire region. This is happening right now as we speak, and honestly, I'm concerned that most families have no idea how serious this is. Let me paint you a picture of what's developing based on the latest forecast models I've been watching all day. Right now, a massive storm system has been hammering the West Coast for the past 48 hours with devastating rain and mountain snow. The Sierra Nevada mountains are buried under 8 to 9 feet of snow, while Los Angeles deals with catastrophic flooding. But all that Pacific moisture streaming eastward right now, setting up the ingredients for what's about to hit us. Last night, Christmas night, this Pacific energy began organizing into a powerful winter storm across the Midwest. Today, the storm is reaching the Great Lakes, and by tonight, it's going to be affecting millions of people. From the Great Lakes to the Atlantic coast, this system brings a deadly combination of heavy snow, dangerous ice, and bitter cold. Now, let me show you something on the weather maps that should really get your attention and help you understand what's coming. You see those colors on the forecast maps? Pink areas mean freezing rain, orange means sleet, blue means snow. And right now, lower Michigan is covered in pink. That's ice. Dangerous, destructive ice that's going to coat everything. Detroit, you're in the bullseye for this ice storm, along with Grand Rapids, Lansing, and Kalamazoo. All of you need to pay close attention, because this ice accumulation could reach a quarter-inch or more in your areas. Here's what that means in real terms. A quarter-inch of ice is enough to snap power lines and bring down mature trees. When ice builds up on power lines and tree branches, it doesn't just sit there. It accumulates and gets heavier and heavier. Add in the wind that's coming with this storm, and you have a recipe for widespread power outages across lower Michigan. Now, here's the exact timeline I promised. When this storm hits your area, and what you can expect hour by hour. Today around lunchtime, freezing rain and sleet begin across lower Michigan, starting in Grand Rapids and Detroit. This afternoon around 2 p.m., the freezing rain spreads into central Pennsylvania near State College and the Pittsburgh area. This afternoon around 3 p.m., snow begins falling in New York City while freezing rain continues across Pennsylvania. This evening around 5 p.m., this is when conditions become most dangerous, with heavy snow in Norway Sea and widespread ice across the mid-Atlantic. Tonight, Heavy snow spreads across Long Island and southern New England, with snowfall rates of 1 to 2 inches per hour. Late tonight through early Saturday morning, the storm reaches peak intensity with the heaviest snow and ice accumulations. Saturday morning, most of the main storm moves offshore, but dangerous travel conditions will persist throughout the day. Saturday afternoon, lake effect snow begins behind the main storm, affecting areas downwind of the Great Lakes. This weekend, Saturday and Sunday, additional storms possible with more snow for the Great Lakes and continued cold temperatures. Sunday and Monday, lake effect snow continues while another storm system develops, potentially bringing more winter weather. Next week leading to New Year's, the pattern remains active with potential for additional winter storms as we head into January. Now let me tell you about the 3 communities that face the most serious conditions from this winter pattern. Detroit, Grand Rapids, and all of lower Michigan, you're looking at the worst ice storm potential in several years. The combination of freezing rain and sleet could leave a 1/4 to 1/2 inch of ice coating on everything. When that much ice accumulates on power lines, widespread outages become virtually guaranteed, affecting hundreds of thousands. And when you lose power in the middle of winter, with temperatures dropping into the teens, your home becomes dangerously cold quickly. New York City and Long Island, you're facing what could be one of the most significant December snowstorms in years. We're talking about 6 to 12 inches of heavy, wet snow across all 5 boroughs, with some areas potentially seeing up to 15 inches. This wet snow is going to be extremely difficult to shovel and will put enormous stress on roofs and tree branches. All transportation will be severely affected. Flights canceled, trains delayed, buses unable to run, major highways impassable. Pennsylvania, from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia, you're in the ice belt where freezing rain meets heavy snow. Areas around State College, Reading, and Allentown face the dangerous combination of ice accumulation and wet snow loading. This creates perfect conditions for power grid failures and makes emergency response extremely difficult. Now I want to help you understand why this storm is so much more dangerous than typical December weather. First, the timing. This is happening right after Christmas when millions of families are trying to travel home. Many people will be caught on the roads during the worst of the conditions, creating potentially life-threatening situations. Second, the type of precipitation. Wet snow and ice are far more destructive than fluffy snow to power lines and structures. Third, the extended impact. This isn't just one day of bad weather, but the beginning of weeks of challenging winter conditions. Fourth, the geographical scope. This storm affects major population centers where millions of people live and work. Let me explain something critical about lake effect snow that many people don't fully understand. After the main storm moves through, the Great Lakes become snow-producing machines that can bury communities in hours. Here's how it works. Cold air moves over the relatively warm lake water and picks up massive amounts of moisture. That moisture gets dumped as snow on the downwind shores, and Buffalo, Syracuse, and Erie know this pattern well. You can literally get feet of additional snow in just hours when the lake effect snow machine gets cranking. With multiple cold shots coming behind this storm, we're going to see round after round of lake effect snow. Now I want to address something that honestly concerns me deeply about this situation. The number of families who are going to lose power during this ice storm and have no way to heat their homes. Some of you in the hardest hit areas could be without electricity for 3 to 5 days, maybe even longer. Are you ready for that? Can your family stay warm and safe without power for almost a week? These are hard questions, uncomfortable questions, but they're absolutely necessary questions. Let me ask you something that could determine your family's survival during the next few days. If the power went out at your house right now and stayed off for a week during freezing temperatures, would you be okay? Do you have enough food that doesn't need cooking? Enough water for drinking and basic hygiene? A way to stay warm? A way to communicate when cell towers go down? A way to get emergency information when the internet fails? According to emergency management statistics, about 75% of American families aren't prepared for even 3 days. 3 out of 4 families have no plan for extended power outages during severe winter weather. I don't want your family to be part of that 75%, especially not during this particular weather situation. Let me share something about emergency response that most people don't understand and wish they did. Emergency agencies can only provide immediate help to about 2 to 3% of affected people during widespread disasters. When hundreds of thousands need assistance simultaneously, even the best response systems become completely overwhelmed. Local emergency crews work heroically, but they simply can't reach everyone when roads become impassable. Emergency shelters have limited space and may not accommodate everyone who needs a warm place. This is why personal preparation isn't just smart. It's absolutely essential for your family's survival. Here's your complete family survival plan. Please write this down because it could save your lives. First, water storage. Fill every container you have right now before conditions worsen tonight. Your bathtubs, sinks, pitchers, pots, bottles. When power goes out, water pumps stop working. Even city water systems need electricity to run treatment plants and pumping stations. During extended outages, water becomes more valuable than gold, so store as much as you possibly can. Second, food supplies for at least 1 week. Not snacks, but real meals that don't require cooking or refrigeration. Canned goods, dried foods, peanut butter, crackers, protein bars, things your family will actually eat. Don't forget manual can openers because electric ones won't work. And have paper plates to conserve water. Third, heating alternatives that don't depend on electricity. This is where most families fail dangerously. Even gas furnaces need electricity to run the blower and control systems, so they won't work during power outages. You need wood stoves, kerosene heaters, propane heaters, or generators that can keep at least one room warm. If you use fuel-burning devices indoors, proper ventilation and carbon monoxide detectors are absolutely critical. Fourth, communication when normal systems fail. Battery radios, hand crank radios, multiple flashlights. Power banks for phones. Those cell towers often fail during ice storms, so don't rely only on mobile devices. NOAA weather radios can receive emergency broadcast even when regular stations go off the air. Fifth, medical supplies and medications. Get any prescription medications you need right now before pharmacies close. Comprehensive first aid kits, thermometers, pain relievers, chronic condition medications, basic medical equipment. When emergency services are overwhelmed and roads are blocked, you become your family's primary medical provider. Sixth, cash money. Credit cards and ATM machines don't work when the power is out. Keep at least $500 in small bills hidden safely. Cash becomes the only currency that works during disasters. This is where community becomes everything, and it's what separates families who thrive from those who just survive. When the power goes out and roads become impassable, your neighbors become your lifeline for getting through this. Check on the elderly couple next door. They may need help staying warm or getting medications. Share resources with the family across the street. If you have a generator and they don't, help each other. Create neighborhood communication plans. How will you check on each other when phones don't work? Figure out who has medical training, who has generators, who has wood stoves, who has emergency radios. This is how we get through storms like this, together, as communities that care about each other. Now I want to be clear about something important. I'm not trying to scare you into panic buying or fear. Fear paralyzes and leads to poor decisions, but wisdom prepares carefully based on good information. You have power over your circumstances through smart preparation. You show love by protecting your family. You exercise sound judgment by making rational decisions based on reliable forecasts and proven emergency principles. Let me also give you hope alongside this practical preparation, because storms, even severe ones, are temporary. Communities that prepare well and work together don't just get through these challenges, they come out stronger. There's something beautiful about how winter emergencies bring out the very best in human nature. Neighbors helping neighbors, strangers helping strangers, communities pulling together when things get tough. These acts of kindness and generosity create bonds that last long after snow melts and power comes back on. So yes, prepare seriously for your family, but also look actively for ways to help others around you. Maybe it's sharing your generator with neighbors who have medical equipment that needs electricity. Maybe it's inviting someone without heat to stay at your house until their power comes back on. Maybe it's using your four-wheel drive to help emergency services reach people who need assistance. These opportunities to serve others during difficult times are gifts that let us show care in action. Let me give you one final timeline summary because this is crucial for your planning today. Today, Friday, storm reaches Great Lakes with ice beginning in Michigan and snow starting in New York this afternoon. Tonight, Friday night, peak storm conditions with heavy snow and ice creating widespread dangerous conditions. Saturday, main storm moves offshore, but dangerous travel persists with lake effect snow beginning. This weekend, additional storms possible as the active winter pattern continues into next week. This is what's happening today, friends. This is what we're facing together as communities and neighbors. In the next few hours, please complete your preparations and reach out to vulnerable people you know. Check on elderly relatives. Make sure neighbors have supplies. Verify that everyone has emergency plans. After this evening, travel becomes increasingly dangerous, and by tonight, it may be impossible in many areas. This is winter's time to test our preparation, our character, our care for each other. The storms are coming. The challenges are real. But communities that prepare and work together will get through this. For now, winter is here with all its powerful forces. Respect that power. Prepare carefully for its tests. Trust that with good preparation and strong community connections, you have what you need to help each other thrive. Stay safe out there, watch the forecast closely, make wise decisions, and be generous in helping your neighbors. Know with certainty that this difficult time will pass, but how well we prepare and care for each other determines our experience. Stay prepared, stay connected, stay hopeful, and remember that we're all in this together as neighbors and friends. This is your call to action. The choices you make in the next few hours will write your family's story. Will you take these steps to prepare? Will you reach out to help your community? Will you act wisely while staying calm? The answers to these questions will determine how your neighborhood faces this winter challenge together. I've been forecasting weather for 15 years, and I've never seen community preparation matter more than it does right now. The models are all agreeing on this storm, which honestly makes me both confident in the forecast and concerned about the impacts. Confident because we can prepare effectively, concerned because of what's heading toward millions of families. But I've also seen how amazing communities become when they prepare together and take care of each other. This storm will test us, but it will also show us what we're capable of when we work together with wisdom and care. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most importantly, stay connected to the people around you who need your care. Because that's how we turn winter storms from disasters into opportunities to show what communities are really made of. Stay safe, help your neighbors, and remember, we're stronger together than we are alone.